All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Detox Show. So today I want to talk about advanced detoxification techniques that might get me banned on YouTube. Okay, we are going to talk about baths. Okay, baths are one of the easiest, fastest ways to purify the body. Okay, some people don't have a bathtub. If that's you, I'm sorry. You're going to have to make more money, rent a new place, buy a new place, whatever you got to do. Find a place with a bathtub. Or, you know what? You can also just buy like an outdoor bathtub to get the job done. I've had some clients do that. Just like a cold plunge, but just like a naked tub. You know, you don't need, and just run hot water from the sink there. Anyway, baths are phenomenal because the skin is the largest organ in the body. And when you can put the right things in proximity to your skin, especially combined with heat and water, you're going to be able to pull things out of the body, okay? So let's jump right into it. All right, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about baths, okay? Detoxification baths. So let's jump into it, all right? So everything you can possibly learn about detox baths. This is about 10 years on this journey, and I've found 2 or 3 specific types of baths that I find to be more effective than anything else, okay? Now, the first thing as a base, what I like to use is iodine, MSM, and Epsom salts. These are kind of my go-tos, all right? The iodine is first of all going to pull out or react with the chlorine in the tap water if you're using tap water. If you have like well water or spring water, or you have chlorine filter in your house or reverse osmosis filter, you don't really have chlorine to worry about, but nonetheless the iodine is still effective because it's going to nourish your thyroid. It's also going to help decalcify the pineal gland. It's just an essential nutrient, and when you take it via the skin, it's not quite as effective as orally, but it's still very, very good for the breast tissue, for your testicles, for your hormones, and a thyroid. Okay, MSM is just generally good because of the how it impacts your joints. Okay, so MSM is just a crucial mineral and nutrient that you can put in. Look, it's sulfur, right? So when you are in a sulfur hot springs, it's not MSM exactly, but it's different versions of sulfur, and that sulfur pulls toxins out of the body. It's also really, really good for your joints and your tissues, and it's why people feel so relaxed. Sometimes there's springs that have lithium, and you could mess around with like lithium carbonate and a few other lithiums for your bathtub, but I haven't really done that. So nonetheless, you have iodine, you have MSM. Okay, the doses are dependent on the person. The doses that I use, and I'm not a doctor, remember, I use about a cap full of iodine, but that's a lot. I've been working my way up. I use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of MSM, and I use a full 4-pound, sometimes 6-pound bag of Epsom salts. These are made in China, Epsom salts. They're not great, but they get the job done. It's magnesium sulfate. Alternatively, you can use magnesium chloride from a company called Ancient Minerals. So for example, there's my Spotify. So this would be something else that you could go ahead and use for your baths, because it's always good to use multiple different types of magnesiums. Okay, they have a different effect. This from the, I believe it's called a Zeichenstein seabed, very, very pure stuff, and just going to be generally cleaner than the Epsom salts. So I just use both. That's what I end up doing. I always just use both. Okay, and I use a whole bag of this, and then I'll use like about 1 pound or a little less, maybe a half a pound of the Ancient Minerals. Okay, and all of that goes into a warm bath. Now, that is a powerful bath right there. That's going to be very effective at detoxifying the body, but we can take it an entire step further. Now, controversial, yes, but something I've been doing for many, many years, and I've seen hundreds of different people do it. And, let me just teach it to you, okay? So first of all, do your own research. You got to learn about chlorine dioxide and what it's all about. There's a lot of Taking it orally is a whole other animal, a whole other can of worms. There's an FDA letter specifically about this, but putting it in a bathtub is pretty benign according to all the research that I've done, especially considering that they use this stuff in swimming pools in certain countries. They also will use this in military when you have to clean bodies of water in order to drink the water. They'll use chlorine dioxide tablets, right? So it's a controversial treatment. It's an oxidative treatment. Generally speaking, oxidative treatments have controversy. Ozone has controversy. Hydrogen peroxide has controversy. The reason is because the wrong dose can harm you. However, when you put it in a bathtub, other than breathing in the vapor, because that is toxic, it's pretty benign because it's not being ingested orally. All right. So you're going to have to do your own research on this. But essentially what this does is this oxidizes all of the water that's in the bathtub. Okay. And so you are left with, you're oxidizing the heavy metals, the viruses, the pathogens, all the different shit that's in the tap water. So it purifies your tap water before you get in there. And it's very, very powerful. The dose is like anywhere between, 5 and 10 ml of each compound. You have to mix these compounds together in order to get chlorine dioxide. You have to be very, very careful, very, very mindful. Do not do this based on this video. Go research it based on this video. I'm telling you to go to research it. Don't do it. I'm not giving you thorough enough instructions, but at the very least, you can research it and learn about it and make your own informed decisions. There's a documentary out there called The Universal Antidote, which is pretty profound around chlorine dioxide. Again, drinking it, it's a whole other animal. I'm not even going to talk about that. But putting it in your bath is quite fascinating because it purifies the water. Now, DMSO is a solvent that will basically, anything it merges with, it will shoot it across the blood-brain barrier or through deeper into your blood and through your skin. So when you have all these amazing minerals in your bath and you have chlorine dioxide and you have DMSO, you're basically creating a full systemic oxidative effect with all the other minerals that go deeper into your skin. The dose is very low on this. It's just 3 or 4 dropperfuls in a bathtub. And you must do your own research on this stuff as well. Granted, this stuff should not ever go directly on your skin. But these are bonuses, and the encouragement is for you to go learn about this stuff. Do not simply take my word for any of this. Both of these things can be considered controversial, right? Like, for instance, if you had a plastic bathtub and you mixed DMSO in a plastic bathtub, that's not good because you're going to be pulling plastics and molecules from the bathtub into the water, right? When you're talking about porcelain or some sort of solid, stable material, it's a different animal, right? But nonetheless, that is how you can up-level your bath in a major, major, major way. A few of these per week, you don't have to take that many supplements, to be honest. I've been doing these for 10 years, 8 years, okay? So another bath. These are all from a photo of a company called, oh boy, what was the name of that company? 1 second. Okay, so it's actually this company, mineralsolutions.us, okay? And this has the best clay for baths because of the way that they ship it in bulk. Now, here's a cool thing. When you take baths with just bentonite clay, like what most people do, yeah, it's cool. It's good, especially when you use a lot of clay. You can use like 8 cups of bentonite clay. You mix it with in a bucket with hot water, and you mix it first in the bucket, then you dump it into the bathtub. And this helps it spread out better and absorb better. Still going to be clumpy sometimes, but it's very, very good. That clay is going to go into the cells and start kicking things out and start detoxifying the body. You can also put salt in there. You can also put MSM in there. So this is a chelation bath. You can also put cilantro in the chelation bath. Cilantro essential oil, cilantro tincture, cilantro herb, dry herb. That's going to be a chelation bath. Now, if you want to make it even better, you can add micronized zeolite because this stuff crosses into the cell. It's micronized. It's very, very, very small zeolite put into a micronizer. It's like this big machine that splits up the clay into smaller particles. And this allows it to be absorbed. Now, you can take it orally too, and we take nanonized zeolite all the time at the Detox Dudes, but this stuff in particular is great for a bathtub, a detox bath, a chelation bath. One of the safest ways of removing heavy metals from the system is going to be the foot baths and also the normal hot baths. Okay, so you'd use micronized zeolite, you'd use bentonite clay together, and then you can throw some salt in there. Now, make sure you take binders orally when you do this, because these are strong baths. Make sure you're rehydrating before and after, electrolytes. Make sure you lay down after the bath, ideally with some towels over you, and you'll just get a good sweat going after the bath as well. Okay, and also the temperature matters. You don't want to be doing it too hot. If it's cold, it doesn't really have that warming, soothing effect and doesn't have the same detoxifying effect. If it's very warm, where you're a little uncomfortable and you're sweating, that's perfect. If it's too hot, it's going to start sucking some life force out of you. When you're in too hot of a water for too long of a period of time, it really is a little intense on the kidneys, just like cold plunging is, extreme temperature changes. So you just want to be gently sweating. And the time period is about 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes you can do 30 minutes, but you'll feel it after 30 minutes. You'll feel it. You'll feel like you'll start herxing for sure. Okay? So that's all I got for you guys. If this video interests you, remember that we offer detoxification coaching. We offer courses. We offer many different ways for you to get your needs met on this path. We are some of the best in the industry. We work with world leaders, world highest performers, athletes, Navy SEALs, and we're the best in the world at what we do, just to put it quite frankly, right? So if you're interested in learning more, you can click on the link below in the video. But in any case, start researching and start learning more about baths, and start really, really simple. Low dose iodine, MSM, and Epsom salts, and magnesium salts. That's not even something you need to research, because if anyone tells you that that is dangerous, they're out of their mind. The only way that could be potentially dangerous is if you have severe thyroid issues like hyperthyroidism, in which case iodine is not going to be good for you. Okay, but these, very, very, very good stuff. Even with a sulfur sensitivity, people usually tolerate it well in a bathtub. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the show. Leave a comment below, ask some questions. I'll be here answering them. Talk to you soon.